introduce yourself, Sneha?
Okay, so my name is Sneha Dodanavar, and I currently work for Black Shark AI as an software quality assurance. And in this company, I have around 2 years of experience, apart from my maternity break, which is included, but I'm just excluding it, and I'll be letting you know about it. So I work as a software quality assurance engineer. So the products which we create is mainly for for airport basis, like airport terminals. Currently we are creating. We all are aware about structure of airports. So these most of the companies create. We are creating runways which will actually help the companies, like operational companies, to understand what they need in their airports, like they want a new warehouse, or they want to extend the terminals if it becomes a busiest airport in future. So they have to calculate it after 5 years, what do they need. So according to that, they start creating these they have to extend their runways. For that, we create the main agenda why we have this project is they need runways to be very crystal clear, because when the airport is landing or departing, they should know, like how the weather is, because in abroad most of the time daylight savings are there. So sometimes it is like in summer it is like till 9 o'clock the sunset, and here otherwise in the winters it is around after 3 o'clock the sunset, you don't have sunset. So for that weather changing they need it. So this is what we create, like they have these shadings, and they get like ideas why. And according to the weather, if the weather is very harsh, they always see the airports the airplanes are landed little farther, like far terminals, because if any problem comes out, then they are aware that if it crashes, forbidden, god forbidden, if it crashes, that it doesn't hamper the other things. These are all minute things which we need to take in very detailed. Like when the airplane is going to land, so they need like all the red lights to be on. So the person who is like the pilot who is landing, he knows, oh, this is the runway number 34. So these all minute details which the airport needs, the inside operational parts we create. We even create for them airport towers, like so what operations they do we don't create, we all create the dummy models. And according to that, according to the airport, we create those bases and we give them, which actually helps them. Oh, maybe if the airport tower was not here, if it was the other part, it would have given them a better idea. Of course these things they are planned well before and they have constructed, but sometimes the mistakes which have been done 20 years back, the airports are not like currently built, they are like 20, 30 years back. These things give them a brighter idea. Should I recreate the tower to a different area which might give me a good signal or good coverage? These all things help them. So in all these currently we are helping them. So like like what we help is, now we currently have a complete blueprint. Like my company is working for this for around 3 years, so we have a blueprint. Now we are getting it for, earlier we did only for major airports, now we are doing it for the most of the countries. Now the sub busiest, like the second busiest airports, we are getting those things and we'll be creating for them. Apart from them, we even create for insurance companies, but the insurance company they need the layoff only for one thing, that if in your future, because Germany or the Europe countries, most of the houses are like 100 plus years. So if that such houses are there, they want like abolish them after 150 or 175 years. I exactly don't know, because we have just got the offer from them. I don't know exactly, after 175 years or something they have to abolish them. So those all houses, like they check out in the Google map, like we create a Google map for them. Those parts they try to abolish and create. So those places we give them as vacant. uh, I exactly, we have still on a working page. They have told us 175 years if the houses they have wanted, but the new rules are going to come, so I'm not sure how it works for them. That's all I work. And if you want to know my daily basis work, like my day starts with daily stand up. So like what you're going to work, it is never like what you did yesterday, because we have a different agile working. What are you going to do it today? They don't want to know what you did yesterday, or only, of course, like what are you going to do today. So mostly we have a sprint of 25 days, but we have now reduced it to 21 days, because we create on AI, like machine learning. So and things, those blueprints have to be done in 1 week. The second thing we take from 3D development team is those houses which they have created in on 3D maps. So those, and it a blueprint is something like a footprint of your construction house. On that we place these houses according to their architect. In Europe they have different architect. According to that you keep on placing those. It should be exact, it should not be misaligned. This is the first thing which we need to take out. If it is misaligned, we have to move it again, because machine learning and 3D combining them is little tough, because both work on different coding. Like machine learning they use Python, and the 3D teams they are working with C. So clubbing them is little bit tedious, but we are working on it. Once it is done, it looks exactly what you look in your Google Maps. The Like if you see from past 3 years, we have we are exactly, now we are very close how it looks in the Google Maps now, complete the images. When we started it was looking like as if it's a gaming the houses were looking like, oh, this, it looks like a game one. But now we have keep on improvising this, because we have started taking the things from simulation, a big company and Mexar, where they directly hire satellites. They take it like 2 years back satellites, and according to that we have started creating the buildings. So we are getting the good picture ideas, so this will help us. Yeah, that's all I would like to say about myself.
Okay. So what is the software development life cycle?
It's a step by step process for testing an application. So, for that, the first thing, like any company does, is requirement collecting. This is mostly done by the business analyst or the product manager. They collect the requirements from the customer, like what they need, what are they expecting from the application. They give us you a briefer idea. Those all inputs have been collected by the BA or PM, and these things have been bought up. And then the next thing, before taking the product, the feasibility study is done. Like the finance team decides whether we'll be able to do it with this budget what the customer has given it. And the technical team will decide that do we have these all expertise regarding the software, hardware, any other expertise are needed. And the HR team will literally look down, do we have enough like resources which can if the company, if the customer wants it in a restricted span of time, so he will be looking, do we have enough resources so that we can complete in a time frame. So these things will be done there. And once you are done with requirement and collection, feasibility study, the next comes designing, which is done by the architect. And he will divide it into, like, he will start framing into high level design, like what should be given that customer needs, whether the only software like front end or back end he wants, or what kind of authentications should be given, what should be given to them. Like any company would not like to want their security or the code should be displayed to the customer. So these all things he will be designing. And later on, along with the developers, he will start getting into a small details, and he will create something like epics and stories with them. They are like little detailed designs. And once the thing is created, then I guess the developers, they start developing the application. They start breaking down those stories which we have got from the BA analyst, BA or the product analyst, along with the Scrum Master. They decide which one to take the first, like epics, which epics to work on. And along with them, parallelly, the tester starts testing the application, and he will find out if there are any bugs, so that the tester is the main person who is like who helps to improve the quality of the application. So with this, both together, developer and tester, they work parallelly. And once they have tested everything, then the installation part comes, which will be done in the client side by some field engineers or someone who goes over their places and who explains them what exactly it is. And the last part, I guess, what we all do is maintenance. Like any company, whoever has created the application has to give them for minimum some period of time the maintenance, so that it works smoothly with the client and they understand how the application works. That's all.
Okay, what is a spiral model?
uh, it is an iteration and incrementive model. And for example, in one iteration we do all the things of sdlc, and there the requirements are freezed for one iteration. And like in that iteration we cannot take any more requirements. So once the complete iteration is completed, then I mean for that iteration the requirements are freezed. So for the next iteration you can take the requirements along with the new requirements from the customer, and on that you can work. So this way it helps the client to understand the advantages and disadvantages of that model, like of the application. Like, okay, for example, for the login page, what did I do? So do I need additional features over there? So if they need any additional features, they can ask them to add in the next iteration. So this way it helps down. But this is a long process. It takes a lot of time, so they have some disadvantages too, but every model has that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens if a company does not follow SDLC?
Mm, what happens? Like, see, if we are not clear with the requirements, the person who is going to create the application, then what happens is like we don't do justification for the payment the client is paying us, and they will be unhappy. And when they are unhappy, I guess that is the big concern, because that is a boom thing which when you give the correct application to the client, the next next applications or next products, next company you're going to get. So I guess it all depends on that. So I guess requirements has to be clear. If not, we don't get the next next like offers from the companies. So yeah.
Mm. Okay, as a tester, what mistakes you can commit as a tester? Do you think what mistakes you can commit?
Mm, as a tester, like um, I don't think we should have any we should commit any mistakes, because they expect us, we are like the first like users who is checking the application before it is given to any user ends. So they expect us, so it looks good, it is working as per the customer. So like if it is for a release, you have some low severity, low priority bugs which you couldn't do in this release. Those things can be pushed to the next sprint, but as a tester you cannot do any mistakes. Like those minor changes or minor, if you have not caught it in this sprint, then the next sprint you have to catch them before doing any testing and you get it rectified, I
Hmm.
think. Yeah, because that's how it works.
Hmm. So in many cases, testers can assume a bug to be a feature and feature to be a bug. That also
Yes,
happens. Hmm.
yes, that happens too.
Hmm. And what is software testing life cycle?
Software testing life cycle, okay. Like it is a context based approach. Like when you take up the application, on that you can decide what kind of testing has to be done. And then you have pesticide paradox. Like there, if you have some defects, uh, like if you're not updating your test cases and test scenarios, then you're not going to find new bugs. So it's a rule that after few sprints you have to keep updating your test cases and test scenarios. And any product is not going to be like 100% error free or bug free. So yeah, we can try to get as much as less possible. And the next one would be error policy. Even if you given a 99% error free application, but it is not exactly as per the user's requirements, it's of no use. So that is the thing we should check in error policy. And it should be like it cannot be exhaustive, over exhaustive. Like mm, the same, if I give an example, like if I'm testing a login page, like I'm using different names just to test, it doesn't make sense. So just like I'm taking random 5-10 names of the colleagues and I'm just testing it, it doesn't make sense. Like 2 and 3 is fine. So over testing should not be done. And
Those are basically what you said are the principles behind software testing. So I was asking, what is the steps involved in software testing life
oh,
cycle?
I'm sorry. What is steps involved in software testing cycle? Okay, like you create a test plan, and you identify those scenarios, and you document those scenarios, and then you send it for reviewing, sorry, and reviewing it. And if you find anything needs to be corrected, you fix them and you send it back. And once you send it back, then what you do is, you you keep those in repositories, and then you make a traceability matrix. And once you get the approval of test case reports, you do execution. And once that execution is done, we do the last thing is sprint retrospective meeting.
Okay. So what is agile model?
Agile model is like, anytime you can, in any phase you can, if you get a requirements which needs to be added immediately, it doesn't matter, you take it and you start working on it. And mostly it is worked on high priority basis. And if not, what the client wants, like they might have told you like around 2 sprints back they want this feature, but suddenly they change that, oh no, I would like this feature to be added for the current sprint, because we want to showcase that we are able to work on this, and this is like a key point of application. So if it changes, we have to work on those requirements. So I guess that's what agile model is. And they have some set of rules and regulations which needs to be followed, like yeah, like if you check in agile, like they follow most of them, like scrum. And like scrum actually helps agile to achieve this sdlc models, which is the ultimate goal of your application, which you need to create for the applications. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, what is sprint planning meeting and sprint retrospective meeting?
Sprint planning meeting is like, this is the first created before the sprint starts by the scrum master. And he wants to add any user stories or the epics which they want to work on the current sprint. And that is done in sprint planning. And in sprint retrospective, that is done on the last day of your sprint. So there the scrum master asks you what went wrong in this current sprint and what went well in this current sprint. And if it was really bad, that's how can we improve it in the next sprint. So these all things are discussed by the scrum master. And if you have done something good, they of course they appreciate for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is release notes?
um for example, this release you have introduced one feature. So like you have to add it in your release notes, what is the feature, how it works. And uh, that is added in the release notes. You just don't add just features, you even give them like, what hardware specifications, what software specifications are needed for this minimum. It should be of, like for ubuntu it should be like 20 above. They have to specify for windows. Currently I guess no one works less than 10, windows 10. So these all things have to be specified in the release notes. Yeah. And mostly when we try to add finer bugs which we have found, just to make the client happy that yes, we have found minor, no one wants to add major bugs, but we want to make the client happy, yes, that bugs do appear and we are working on it. And Those all things have been added in the release notes.
Okay. Mention two integration scenarios of a Zoom application.
Zoom application. Okay. So, yeah. Once you log in and like, I just let me see here. Okay, once you log in into it and then I want to do chat, so I'll click on chat and I will type the message and once you have typed the message, if you need the emoticons or some other, like, just to enhance the feature, those options you use. And the next one, you click on send button. Before sending the button, if like, for example, in Zoom we have a general chat. This is not one on to one, like if it is in a group. So those things are integrated. And the other features we have, like share screen. If I want to share my screen with a particular person, then I have this share screen option. And yeah, with this I can give that person just to see which window I want that person to show, not my complete the person cannot have the view of my complete laptop, but only the which window, like I want to show like something about the pictures or videos. That application I click and then the person is able to view them. So yeah, these are the integrated parts.
Okay, Sneha, thank you. We have answered many questions brilliantly. I would say your Viva is the best.
Thank you
Before
so
you,
much.
somebody's Viva was best, but now you have overtaken that person.
Thanks a lot to
Is
say that.
that whatever minor mistakes, man, that is okay. I would forgive it because I can understand your issues. So that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a
Okay.
lot.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.